Alright, so let's get this going here before I, miss the fact that the game might be starting. Looks like we do have one ready up. Obviously, this is a last-minute scheduled Week 2 match for Division 1, Elfir versus Over.Extension. Since it is Week 2, we'll be playing Descent and Veil. Also, since it's a daytime, warning, there may be a bird. They're already all on here. It looks like we've got pretty much everyone alive and functioning. I was the only one who was alt-tabbed, so... Yeah, here we go. At this point, we are going to have Elfir starting as Marines. They have Trigu, Joey, who I believe is a new member for their team, Mr. Oizo, Iots, Unique, and Contagious. And meanwhile, for Over.Extension, we have Loam, Parsnip, Fiskbit, Bruno, Zoloco, and Rising. And here we're going to go right into round 1 here. One of the few matches starting almost on time. Nice, Elfir, nice. Alright. So we have horizontal spawns here. We'll have to see if they're going to end up with a, an armory right off the bat. That is probably one of the... This is one of the maps where you would maybe see that, but it looks like we're going to have an arms lab instead. Meanwhile, going on for Over.Extension, looks like we're going to have a Shade Hive, and we're going to have 3 sort of moving towards the south half of the map. We'll have to see if they continue on, but they're going to run into Trigger and Iots down over here. At least potentially it'll be Bruno and Zoloco heading that way. Getting a little bit of chip damage there on Bruno. Of course, he does have really high ping, so he might be able to... He might get hit around corners a little bit since he is an Australian player, and they're playing on an East Coast US server, so that'll be a little bit... That might be a little bit rough for him, but he ends up playing on... playing in, like, with NA teams quite a bit, so it isn't too odd for him. Well, I'm just kind of hiding in the vent. Joey and Mr. Oizo are split up. They have this nice little wall between them, so if Loam is able to, I might be able to move forward and pick one of them off. Alright, don't start with the spam, guys. I know you were having fun with that in Ixia's chat, but don't do that in mine. I demand it. I have to see here, they are having weapons 1, or armor 1 almost done at this point. Fiskbit is a gorge. I'm assuming he's just snuck forward a bit. He did drop the tunnel and base, so I'm assuming they're trying to lock down Drone Bay as a potential second hive, but since Trigo and Unique are both there, they're kind of just waiting up for the full group. They're going to go in there with the gorge, Parsnip out of the hive, Bruno also there. They're going to move in on Trigo next, and they're going to take him down, and they'll be able to get the tunnel up if that is what they're wanting. That'll probably be showing up right over by the RT, potentially. Zoloco's following Fisk around, waiting for that heals, and there they go. Bruno working on that RT, and Loam picking at the one behind Oizo and Joey. Iots is going to chase Bruno back a little bit, but Zoloco's joined in. Oh my god, guys, don't make me freaking open up the chat and block you guys for a little bit. Anyway, Unique getting taken down there in, what is this room? Observation. Gonna leave because Trigger's moving into the room. We have Rising hiding up here in Fabrication. He's gonna move in on Joey, get one bite, another bite, and take him out. They do have the 3 Veils up, so they definitely are working well with silence at the moment. It makes it considerably harder for the Marines to, know that somebody's there. They do have the obs up. Got that up to hopefully help counteract some of the the Shade Hive skills. Phase Tech actually going right off the bat along with Weapons 1. They do have 4 RTs, so they aren't too bad off. As Marines, nobody's lost any RTs so far. We're just seeing this lovely little standoff. Rising is finally going to move in, and he's able to take down Mr. Oizo. Bruno and Zoloco got scanned in the vent here. They are a little bit pinched, and here comes Parsnip out of the hive as well. They're Unique got split up from Trigu, so both these Marines are probably going to end up going down, though a little bit, after each other. It looks like Trigu's going to be able to run away. Definitely not a good thing to end up with, this huge little switchback here in the middle of the thing. What is the word I'm looking for? Whatever, who cares? Anyway, Phase Tech is going to be done here momentarily. Let's see where they end up putting the Phase Gate, but they definitely have enough res to put down both the gate and base, and the one wherever the heck they're planning on putting it. Obviously, Hydro may be a good place, but at this point it's not capped by anyone, so there's that. We had Zoloco pushing a little bit towards base, but not too much. They're losing up here in energy flow. They lost that RT. And both Loam and Brun are kind of just trying to get their parasites. Got a parasite on IOTS. He's going to go down. Mr. Oizo's next. And they're able to clear him up, no problem. Down here, we're obviously seeing Unique and Trigger moving into Drone Bay. But that Whip and Crag there has made that like a terrible little corner to try and be a Marine in. Because if you pop down there, you can see that it's like, well, there's a Crag blocking from one way, and from the other side, you can maybe get some bullets in there, but it'll be kind of annoying. Anyway, we're seeing stuff blinking up there because that's where they put the first phase gate. It was up there in infiltration, so both the teams aiming just sort of counterclockwise around the map for the next RT, or for the next tech point. But nobody's coming through the gate. Contagious actually jumped out of the chair, and he's going to try and chase off Rising. Actually, all the Marines are dead, so which is why Contagious had to be the one to jump out. And he's just going to defend that a little bit while he waits for everyone to respawn. They still only have the one IP, so obviously when you have phase tech, generally having two IPs is pretty much recommended, so that way, you know, if something like that does happen, you can, you know, just fling everyone back through the gate. I mean, they have a hideously long queue, and that gate is just going to get wrecked because, well... Alright, we're seeing two coming through again. Contagious actually takes down the gate, and he's the comm, so he's kind of trapped on the wrong side of things. Bruno was poking at base a little bit, but not too much. And they're gonna lose what grip they had on filtration. Drone Bay has been dropped, you know, reasonably early second hive there, but at this point they still have 4 RTs and they haven't lost any, so they're just trekking right along. They're basically trading the 2 biomass that they'd otherwise probably have by now for the hive. It isn't quite, you know, the right math for that, but obviously that's what they decided to go for to be able to get that the second hive abilities upgrades. More than the life form abilities. They are going to be, let's see, they're at 31 res now, so it'll be a little bit longer before they have their fades up. Unique pushing forward a little bit, but getting spat at by Fisk is the Gorge. Getting chumped at now, Parsnip over, Bruno also, Parsnip going down, Bruno going to go down. Unique has basically no health. Fisk is getting chased. He is going to possibly go down here, but he's going to dodge around the crag, and he can pretty much dance on that tunnel and be almost immortal. They're going to move in on that hive, which obviously has been discovered. But all the aliens are popping out of that tunnel. And they're going to head over there. They're shooting up, and Unique goes down. Joey's kind of using the hive like as a shield, but though he, you know, wasted all the aliens' time. Over.Extension is pretty much okay. They were able to clear him, and they'll move on forward. If you take a look, there's only one RT for Elfir. They really need to get some sort of res somewhere. Let's see what happens here. We have Bruno over there. I'm not making any noise because he is silent. Rising's in there as well. Cyclone just went fade, and we'll probably be seeing Zoloko also becoming a fade here soon, unless Bruno does. One of them is going to be the other fade, or both fades. Who knows? This may be a 3 fade thing, just knowing what people play, or it might be 2 fades, 2 Onai. We'll have to see here. Anyway, Loam has moved in as the fade, and he better be very careful there. However, Zoloko is just able to run right in there and clear out Mr. Oizo and IOTS. Drone Bay has been completed, and they do have the phase gate up now in Hydra, but again, they're running into the issue of, well... Oh, Rising takes quite a bit of damage there, trying to bite on that gate by himself. But Contagious jumped out of the chair again. He's over there just hanging out, killing that RT. It's not like he could really do much with the 1 RT, so really just having him help with that... I mean, you just shouldn't med on 1 RT. I mean, that's just like the way things are. You don't want to because you need to get that second RT up. So IOTS is sitting over there clearing up the cysts, and he and Unique are going to work on getting that RT up and hoping they don't get cleared in the meantime. Base is kind of getting poked at a little bit. As you can see, they capped all the way over towards observation. They have everybody kind of setting up. They're getting a crag there. So they could just like sit on the Marine doorstep and be like, hi guys, look at us. We're aliens. We're here to be obnoxious and keep pulling you back to base so you aren't going to cap anything. Unique looks like he's the one who has to hold on to Hydro, but here comes 2 fades and a Lyric and a Skulk. Looks like it is going to be 2 Onai. Bruno will be... Whoa, okay, Rising gets melted. But there's still 2 fades and a Skulk on that gate. Yeah, okay, Joey and Trigger are both heading in, but that gate is going to go down. Contagious jumps out, but here's the thing. Contagious is the comm. He can't get back over there, and they have 2 RTs. They have 2 RTs again, so, you know, being able to, you know, drop med packs is kind of important, so they need to either get him another gate. Okay, who do they have in... They have Ayats who jumped in the chair there so they could get the other gate up. But yeah, they don't... And they still don't... Okay, they do have a second IP up now. So if that happens again, obviously they were able to come through that gate. It was a little bit too late to be able to, you know, save it, but looks like we're going to see another crush. Maybe? Nope, they changed their mind. They're going to go up around and clear out poor Ayats, who was here all alone in energy. And at this point, just Over.Extension is just like wrecking them. Bruno's just kind of toying around here. Biobomb is being researched since it looks like Fisk did either lose or unevolve from his gorge. I'm not sure which. You don't get notifications for little gorgies. Unique has actually worked his way down here and is poking at the crag, trying to clear that up, but he's all alone and nobody's down there. Meanwhile, in their base, we have Rising and Zloco, and here comes more aliens. Hello, we have like 1 billion aliens working, doing a reverse Grand Gate there to make all these poor Marines walk all the way around. And Contagious obviously jumped out of the chair to try and fight that and delay it, but here's the thing, once you're out of the chair, well, you can't exactly go and beacon. They are at only weapons 1. Had to lean in to look at the freaking tiny little chevron there. They do have enough to start weapons 2, but at this point they probably should just invest in capping instead, because that's going to be expensive and they're not doing so well. Yeah, they had to drop another phase gate. Meanwhile, the one over there has a fade poking at, but at least it's just a fade. I mean, here come the skulks as well. And all the Marines come through the gate at once. Clearing up some of those skulks, and they'll be able to get, send Contagious back through so he can go back to his chair and sit there and drop med packs as he's supposed to do. But let's see here. What is Over.Extension planning to do now? I mean, they have 5 RTs. They're doing pretty much amazing comparatively if you look at the res graph. I mean, look at the team resources. The slope of those lines, yeah, not exactly great. They're like way ahead in kills as well. I mean, it's okay if you're not ahead in kills, but you sure as heck better be ahead in res. I mean, this is a game that is based on the economies. And again, Contagious jumps through. He seems to love jumping through that gate to try and save it when every alien on the planet is right there. And it looks like they are going to lose Hydro, and though they do have that capped up there in energy, and they may end up clearing the RT down here in observation. They have Unique pushing forward in the little, what is that? What is that depot? That place that actually has a name. They may take down Loam though. He is kind of getting low. They're gonna take down a fake fade there. Shotguns has been researched. Rising who has returned to being a lurk, gets a kill there, and it's, let's see. Bruno looks like he just went Onos. He does have only 4 res now, so if we peek over here, yep, there he is as an Onos. They don't have charge yet. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to afford that momentarily, so as long as he doesn't overcommit in this first engagement, he should be pretty much fine. People making fun of my bird making funny noises. She's like, hey, the human's talking, gotta talk too. Anyway, they're gonna have their first engagement here with Bruno as the Onos and Rising as a lurk. He doesn't have Umbra yet, so he just needs to be careful, especially since those are, you know, shotguns. He'll get some nice spike damage in on IOTs though, and Bruno's actually having to run the heck away. They don't have the crag right around the corner over here anymore, so he's gonna have to walk all the way back to the hive, I believe. But that isn't exactly, you know, the worst thing in the world, but look at how green the map is. I mean, it's just freaking everywhere. Looks like we're having another push here, 3, that'll be Trigu, Joey, and IOTs. Moving on forward towards Hydro. IOTs is lagging a little bit behind, so we might get picked off by these fades. We're just kind of like lurking around waiting. He actually does get picked off and miss a couple shots missing. They almost take down his Zloco. Low also getting fairly low. Doesn't look like there's anybody up there to stop him, but they're going to be able to cycle that shotgun and wait for the next guy. Meanwhile, coming into base, it looks like they just lost another shotgunner. Bruno's coming in. They're going to beacon, call everyone back, make everyone alive again, and then the aliens are going to run away. Oh no. So we'll have to see if they're going to chase through here. But at this point, I mean, look at the map. They're on 1 RT again. And they just dropped, the Over.Extension just dropped the Fabrication Hive. I mean, they have no problem whatsoever as far as taking these down. Unless they just totally melt Bruno, which is now impossible because, let's see, it looks like that was Unique and Trigu just got destroyed. So at this point, I'm wondering whether just over or whether Elfir just really hasn't practiced like at all recently or what. Because if you remember back to last season when many of the Over.Extension members were on work in progress, I mean it was pretty. It was a 4-0 victory for Elfir. So what's up, Elfir? You guys not practiced? Come on, guys. Let's get some of those life forms in. They have done a pretty good job of almost killing things, but again, they really just need to take down life forms, and at this point, it's probably too late for this round to be able to claw things back. I mean, it's still possible, but, you know, once that third hive is up, it's pretty much over. I mean, they would literally have to have, like... Okay, they have another Onus up. Fisk is now also up as an Onus, so at this point, it's a matter of time. I don't know whether they're just discussing what went wrong or whatnot, but at this point, here come all the aliens ever. They might take out Fisk. Fisk is kind of low, but nobody's alive right now. He didn't beacon. He did have enough to... Yeah, they're just gonna call it. So I don't know whether whether it was Shade Hive, whether Elfir hasn't practiced or what. But I mean, they ended that. Let's see. Five extractors down, and yeah, Elfir never got above 4. They had 4 for like what? What is that? Like a minute maybe? Alright, so first round there. I mean, one of the things I'd been joking about... Actually, one moment here. Okay. One of the things I've been joking about to a few people is saying, what was it? I thought I'd been joking about. Maybe I just was thinking about saying it and I never did. But it's like, it's one of those things... Oh, yeah. Because I was joking, to IOTS and a few other people saying that I'm here to see if he flashes his lurk or his life forms. I'm assuming he's lurking just because, well, that's what he did last season. We'll have to see if he does lurk again or what he's playing this season. Trying to see whether they're just kind of rusty or what. I mean, I was hoping that this would be a much closer game just because, well, again, I know Over.Extension has practiced a lot and they've improved a lot since last season when, as I said, most of the members were on work in progress. I was one of those. I was on Over.Extension for quite a while, but I'm not now, so there you go. So it's like I was hoping to see this would be a pretty good match, where it's like I don't care who wins as long as they get wrecked. If somebody gets wrecked, and that was definitely somebody getting wrecked. But I'm hoping that we'll see it go both ways and we'll end up with a 2-2 in the end. But come on, Elfir. I was looking forward to this match. Don't let me down. I'm gonna blame IOTS. Oh yeah, don't mind me. I like heckling him quite a bit, so it's all in good fun. But obviously now, they will be aliens, which, as I said, they do have 2 members on that team that that weren't on there last time, so I don't know how they're going to set up their life forms. Obviously, this map is absolutely humongous, and though we didn't see really an initial base push, the horizontal spawns like they had that last round are obviously very, well, not necessarily risky, but annoying. Let's go with annoying, because there are these 2 vents. There's the one here, there's the one here that kind of dump you out right in the marine base, or close enough to it that it's just stupid. Dealing with that is, yeah, you usually end up going mines, but at this point I think that Elfir's main failing was that when they had the phase gate up, they still only had 1 IP. And so there was only Contagious that could go through the gate. And there were 4 dead people, or 5 dead people, whatever. And he just kept having to jump out of the chair. And though at some certain points when there wasn't any res, it's okay, yeah, you aren't supposed to be medding because you need to build an RT so you can actually get some income and not be stuck. What is it? It's like, oh gosh, what's the rate other than really slow? But you know, you need to get that the other RT up so you actually have a semi-reasonable chance at being able to afford an additional RT. But you know, so it's like there wasn't that much he could do other than, I mean, jumping out. But he kept ending up jumping out to try and save stuff, and then it wouldn't get saved. That initial push in fabrication with the gate, yeah, that was lost because there was only the 1 IP, and we'll see how it ends up going. Taking a look at chat here. right, we got A ready up there from Elfir. They're ready to go and try out aliens to make sure that they see if they could take a round. But yeah, definitely. As I said, Overextension has been practicing a freaking ton. They got quite a few new people on the roster. And it looks like we're just going to move right into round 2 here. So there we go. Onward to round 2 in 10 seconds. And we're going to see the horizontal spawns again. It's actually exactly the same as last round. So we'll have to see if we end up actually starting off with Fisk in the chair. So it looks like they are going to go mines and have Parsnip basically get back in the chair, be able to start the mines, and basically buy his own later. It's not exactly all that risky like it might be if you started with a Gorge Comm, but the way it is with having the Comm be able to buy their own mines, you don't have to worry about somebody forgetting to come back and buy the mines. It's just you're sitting there and, well, when they're done, Comm jumps out, buys mines, drops mines, calls it good. Then they know exactly where the mines are, and they don't even have to look at base. And we're seeing the three push here through Drone Bay. Joey's pretty much all alone here. So he's just kind of have to back up. We have Iots and Mr. Oizo kind of moving towards base. Let's see, they do hear Fisk building, and he's going to continue on. Looks like Iots just went up over the top of this thingy. We'll have to see if they end up moving back in. Iots is going to take that engagement, but he is going to go down. He only got one bite onto Fisk. He didn't even get the parasite, so Mr. Oizo's probably just going to have to go after that RT. We're seeing a fight over here in Gravity. They're actually just doing a 3 pressure over there to try and pull the aliens back, which it looks like that is indeed what's happening. We had Unique and Trigger. Trigger goes down, Unique goes down, but all the Marines are still there. And there goes the one natural that I think was built. Or maybe it wasn't. It looks like it wasn't quite built yet. Anyway, it's getting picked out of the vent there. That is one of the obnoxious vents, but at least at this point for them, it is not bad. They're going to cruise on forward. The 3 pressure has rotated over towards Plaza to try and pick off that natural. The Drifter is just sitting there. It has finished building the Plaza RT, but here's the thing. Contagious is right here. He's the commander. That poor Drifter is dead. However, Contagious is going to get a kill. Bruno's too split up from Rising to be able to help him too much, but there's 4 Skulks anyway, so unless he wasn't going to work enough magic there to be able to clear that up. So they're going to hold on to the one Harvester so far, and they'll have to resist down here in Gravity. We're seeing 2 here. That'd be Joey and Unique kind of cruising on through the center of the map. We'll have to see where they end up. We're seeing a fight up here with Sloko and Iots. They obviously went Shift Hive first, so that's something I think is more in the meta for European teams at this point. I think a lot more NA teams seem to be, or at least, the higher division NA teams, Titus aside, because, Titus does their own thing. But, the Div 1 NA teams seem to be a lot more apt to go Shade, it seems like. Meanwhile, Euro teams seems to be trying Celerity a lot. I don't know, so goes the meta. Anyway, they're taking down Drone Bay. Meanwhile, up here in Energy Flow, Rising's there all alone versus Trigu and Unique. There are one res away now from Lurks. Rising actually stepped forward and had Trigu kind of hiding on the wall right above him, so he got lucky there that Trigu didn't just jump off the wall onto his head. Unique is pretty chipped, as is Iots, so they're not going to be able to take many engagements. Bruno's down here. He put a mine down so that way if they do charge at him, he could possibly just back up onto that. In fact, a mine just took somebody out over here. So they're definitely trying to be more aggressive with the mine placement, so that way they try and use them in the fights, like right there. Which, however, the bad part about it is that Bruno also killed himself. Alright. Kaboom. Lots of kabooms. Let's see what happens here. We're seeing Trigu up as a lurk. And if Iots is going to be lurking, he'll be going lurk soon, it looks like. But at the moment, he's going to cruise on into Hydro. They do have an obs up. They have Armor 1, but they don't have Weapons 1, nor do they have Phase Tech, so I think they're just waiting to see what happens here, not to mention they're kind of a little bit short on res until those RTs actually do their work. Trigu is going to move in. He's going to get a couple bites on Rising, but he actually flashes his lurk. Oh, it looks like Unique actually is the other lurks. So you better be careful there. So they're going to be able to get that up. Meanwhile, up here, Zloco has the power socketed there. They don't have gates, so they're just, I'm assuming, wanting to cap it once they kill that RT. See stuff blinking everywhere. This is again a case where this time instead of the map being green, the map is very much not green. Rising gets taken down in that mess, and now next is going to be Bruno, Joey, and Trigu moving on to be able to kill other stuff. The RT down here in, what is that, Gravity, is dying, as is the one. Okay, never mind, the one in Drone Bay is not dying. Or the Extractor. Mr. Oizo playing a little bit of ring around the RT. Loam is able to clear him out, though, and at the moment all the RTs are blinking. They just took down the one in Plaza, the Harvester in Plaza just got lost. But looks like they're going to be trying to cap that. Unique's just biting Res too, even though he is a lurk. I mean, not much else there. Just Res going down everywhere. Seeing the fight over here, Fisk versus IOTS. He actually takes down IOTS. And now Unique's a little bit late to be able to join that engagement. He's just kind of being silent in that vent, it looked like. He was just gliding into a wall to try and keep from making noise. He's moving in with Trigu, and he's able to clear that, so they'll be able to resist out there, except for the fact that there's still Rising rebuilding up here in, Fabrication. Bruno and Zloco just took out a Skulk down here in Hydro, and they'll be able to recap that. Armor 2 almost done. Phase Tech is also done, so they're going to be able to try and get probably gates, if they can get it, in Hydro and also up in Plaza, because that'll be a nice forward gate, and they'll be able to push into launch control reasonably easily. Seeing some fighting going on up here. IOTS is really chipped, so it'll just be a matter of time before Fisk is able to land a couple bullets on him and kill him. Unique is still alive there. He just blew up some mines. Stuff is blinking. There goes Fisk. Here comes Unique. Gets a bite on Fisk. Another bite. Now just a couple spikes to really take him down. But he's actually going to back off. He doesn't want to take his chances, especially since Trigu, who last season was doing some pretty amazing things as a lurk. Especially since they've Trigu basically flashed. Unique's going to be able to dodge out of there and go regroup with some fellow aliens. Meanwhile, we're seeing IOTS getting some hiding in the vent there. That's a little, like, teeny tiny little vent between those two rooms. Fisk is also pretty hurt, but it looks like he might be heading over towards Trigu to try and save that RT. I mean, if he's able to clear him, that'll be no problem, but Unique is also moving in and he's gliding, but he just got scanned, so he did get a nice bite on Fisk. And Fisk will go down, and they'll be able to clear out that RT there in Energy Flow. Taking a look at this, you can see that they've had a ton of... Over.Extension's had like a ton of res so far through the game. They've lost 7 RTs. So Alfira's not being too shabby with the res biting. I mean, rule of thumb, 1 per minute. And they just took down an 8th, so, 8 down in 7 minutes. Not bad at all, but guess what? They went for a gate over there in Gravity, which makes sense. I mean, it had to be Plaza or Gravity, and they went for Gravity because I think they had people pushing in through Drone Bay. So that's been set up, and let's see. Taking a look at the res, it's going to be quite a while before they get those fades up. So they really need to win these engagements with just the Skulks and the Lurk. Unique having to get out because, well, guess what? He's kind of hurt. They're still on Weapons 1, though, so it's not horrendous, but yeah. So see what's going on here. We have Unique changing his mind and leaving. We're having 2 moving back to try and chase IOTS off the RT. It looks like it's just going to be Fisk moving back over there. And we've got 3 sort of messing around through Plaza, but it's hard to see what direction they're actually going besides just, biting res. Fisk is able to save that RT when it had, I don't know, probably about 12% left. They're still doing some work there, biting that res. Loam's up there by himself. Unique kind of debating whether or not he should go in there. He does finally move in. Doesn't get a bite, though. He decides against it. They cannot afford to lose that lurk. It's very good that he's playing defensively, even if it means that they aren't really getting much done with him. They take down the RT there. That would be Mr. Oizo and Joey are able to take down the Hydro RT. And they pulled Bruno back, who was trying to save it, but obviously got there too late. Loam getting bitten by one thing, cleared up by IOTS. So IOTS and Unique now going to work on the Fabrication RT. But guess what? They have shotguns up and they're just going in at the hive. They're just like, screw you guys. We're gonna end this. Is this the point where if you were able to get that gate, which they did, the up in the basically the alien natural, you can use that gate to just, scoot on in and end the game before fades are up. They are at 30 res, so it's like they have to clear this. But here's the thing, even if they rushed base, they could just beacon. If they decide that this is going badly, they could beacon and just have everybody go through the gate again. If they lose one person, it's just, have that one person grab a new shotgun and run back through the gate and catch up. Let's see, where's the other guy? Down to 4. And just, this is so much res, but at the same time, so many people are dying horribly. Fisk accidentally kills Bruno. Whoops! Unique is still up and alive, but that hive is at 12%, so it's basically dead at this point. They don't have enough res to get a second hive, so there we go, end of the game. Very clean win there from Over.Extension. They knew that they had I'm wondering how much having Trigu just get completely destroyed in that first engagement when he was Lurk hurt them, because as I said, I know he was a fairly strong player last season. Could be different this season, but I know he was last season, and just that initial engagement in Hydra where he lost his Lurk probably set them back a bit more than they were hoping. Alright, what the heck's going on in chat? People talking about Bruno, and I can't alt-tab to scroll up to see what else was talked about. How terrible. But so far, Elfir's letting me down. I mean, I remember talking to IELTS and sometime during the summer, during the gap between seasons, being like, hey, you guys better not get wrecked by OE, you better put up a fight. And I don't know about that. But again, it's all in good fun. I like heckling IELTS. And I know that they haven't practiced nearly as much as OE has. So hopefully this is a wake-up call for them if that is the case. And they'll just, play better in their later matches. Scroll up a little bit while they're loading in. While my bird serenades everyone. Doot, doot, doot. No. Oh, yeah, I changed seeing people talking about buffering that may be Australian. Yeah, I'm sorry, I changed my bitrate back up so that it would be higher. I did lower it a lot for, for the match last night that was Intent versus Singularity. I lowered the bitrate a lot for that for all the Australians. Wasn't thinking we'd have many for this one. I mean, yes, there's Bruno, but that's like one player out of 12. But yeah, that's definitely a good strat that if you know that you're that far ahead and you're like, that they aren't going to have fades for a while because you've just been like on their res, just kicking them in the face pretty much. You might as well just just set up your gate so and then go into the hive. I mean, they have to clear you and take down the gate. I mean, that's pretty much the only choice. You have to go probably take the gate while they're just starting on the hive, so that way they don't have that gate there. Like, okay, I'm just putting on Veil here, to show it as an example. If this was the case on here, you'd probably have a system gate. So you'd have to have everybody go out and around, come in, clear the gate, and then move in to clear the Marines. That's pretty much your only choice if you aren't able to just clear that initial wave right off the bat. And since this is Div 1, I don't know, people are good enough shots that it may or may not happen. I mean, it's still risky. You definitely just need to make that gate disappear, though. Brushing base doesn't do much of anything. Because as I said, you could, at that point, obviously you still have an obs up. As long as they have res, they can just beacon and then have everybody go through the gate and just, like, go away. I mean, we saw that happen. I know that was talking, again, last season, talking to Boom, who was on Cheesecake. That was one of his favorite things to do, was to try and end the game before fades came up. Because at that point, it makes it so much easier to just, like, as I said, there's basically only one thing you can do. You have to get rid of the gate and the Marines at almost the same time. But yeah, and we're gonna move right into round three here. It looks like of Elfir versus Over.Extension. Let's see where they end up. Where OEs ends up hive wise. But we've got exactly the same as pregame. Okay. Let's see whether or not we end up with Fisk going Gorge. I know he does like gorging on this map. It looks like he's going to run over there and go Gorge. We'll be seeing a 2-2 split out of them, and they're going to get an armory there, so we may see a push towards Nano, but since it's going, at the moment, just 2-2 for the Marines as well, we'll have to see what ends up happening here as far as once, whoever that is, once Scoobies finishes building. He actually came in here. Who left? That'd be Unique who left, it looks like. They do have the Gorge Tunnel dropped there in Nano. They're healing up low. I'm getting the tunnel set. Both the Marine Naturals are now capped, and they've sisted all the way to Pipeline, it looks like. What? No, okay, they sisted into Nano. Sisting into Nano and then down to Cargo. That's kind of a weird way to sist, because of course most people end up going, through Y. And since you do have the Gorge, most of the time you don't need assist up there right away. So that's going to take them quite a while to be able to get that other RT. I mean, I don't know about that. I'm hoping that was a whoops. Like, thinking there wasn't going to be a Gorge and just rolling with it or what, but I don't know. That's going to take a long time before Cargo is going to be sisted. I mean, that would have already been sisted by now, because look at how much is already sisted up there in Nano, and the ones are just, like, turning on down here. So I'm not sure about that, but they have it all nicely sisted up now in Nano, and nobody's moved forward far enough to be able to do anything. I mean, I see stuff blinking over there. We have Loams just like hanging out over in Topo, and at this point, if this continues, then they aren't able to go and just like destroy everything. This is already looking really bad for Elfir. Saying 3, pushing in towards Nano. That'll be Scooby, Ziots, and Trigu. They are going to get a lot of damage into Fisk. He may actually go down. He does go down. They have to watch out for the whip, though. Here come all the skulks. Every skulk ever is now coming out through that Gorge Tunnel, killing all the Marines. That whip is hiding nicely behind, positioned pretty nicely behind that stack of clogs, but they know it's there. And the mines, there was an offensive mine there, but we have a 4-pack moving up. Oh, nice! 2 skulks down from that mine. Seeing Mr. Oizo now coming in. He's probably going to kill that cyst. But that doesn't do anything for Cargo, because guess what? That's already sisted. It is finally building. Taking a look at this. So far, not too bad. They do seeing Trigu kind of scoot along forward. He's taking a look at what's in there, because they do have the obs. They are going for early phase tech, which is something... Yeah, you get... I like complain... Oh, nice. 1% on that RT. Nice job, Joey. Bad job to the people biting the RT. Bruno's maybe going to get taken down. 1. Oh, yep, he does. Trigu's still alive, though. Rising moves in. Maybe. Clears that as well. Next, Loam moving in. Is he going to get taken down as well? No, he takes down Trigu, and Scooby's was the one who cleared him. Oh, no. What's going on in chat, guys? Anyway, both lurks are up. That'll be Rising and Zaloko. They're just kind of cruising around, doing whatever. The Sys chain did get cut there in system, but that's not that big of a deal. Obviously, the Harvesters up here are assisted partially by the Gorge Tunnel, which acts as a giant cyst. We have Iots trying to get trying to take down Bruno, but he needs like half a bullet to take him down. Zaloko moving in there. Next is Rising, moving in, getting chomped down, or spiked down, it looks like. They are sitting at 3 okay, it'll be 4 RTs very shortly. They did just drop the one in Topo again. But here comes the pack of aliens. They're just doing a lot of pack play to just make sure that they just get that Elfir just gets annihilated. So 3 moving in through Topo. This is the problem with early phase tech. Problem with early phase tech means that, guess what? You don't have the armor. You're still 2 bites and a parasite, and you're dead. And they are what? Let's look at the let's look at the P-res. They're at 27 P-res for all the people who aren't lurks or, you know, were either a comm or a gorge. It's like they are building a gate there. That's kind of a weird place for a gate. That isn't where I mean, normally you see it somewhere up here. But they're putting it in this nice little weird corner. They don't have a gorge up, so they don't have to worry about Bile Bomb, obviously, since that, you know, since Fisk as his gorge got wrecked. Saying the lurks, where are the lurks going? Lurks are going up to base, because we have 2 skulks in base. However, Loam is going to trip over a mine. So they come back in. Bruno's going to get picked off. Nope, he's not going to get picked off. But they have this. They're having this incoming problem called a couple of lurks and a skulk still in base. Bruno's still somehow alive, even though he has. Okay, now he's not alive and the gate is untouched. So they're going to be able to get back in there. They have some mines down to try and protect that, but they're going to lose. They're taking out the mine right there in Topo, and they aren't going to bother biting it down. They're going to wait for a skulk to do that. They're going to try and engage on Trigu, going through the vent. Not landing many bullets there. Trigger getting taken down. Joey going to be next. Got a little bit of damage there on Rising. Rising might actually go down here, especially with that Oizo, Mr. Oizo, you almost had him. I don't know what happened there, whether he had to reload or what. They almost took him down. Alright, so looking at how this is, they're losing Topo again. Joey moving back to try and save that. The map is almost entirely green. There are 6 RTs for Over.Extension, only 3 for Alfir. They do have shotguns. They're finally getting armor 1, but they need to be careful because those lurk spikes are going to be horrible to deal with. They just lost a shotgun right there in that little corner. It looks like Trigo may be able to cap that. Nope, Scoobies. It's up to you. Nope, he's running away because there's everything there. Bruno explodes. They still have a shotgun sitting right there in the corner, and somebody needs to be able to go get that. It looks like IOTS is going to run and try and get that. I don't have the timer, obviously, because I'm just some person in spec view. But he's able to go over there, save that shotgun. Zloko and Rising are moving to pinch him. Rising takes a little bit of chip damage. They get scanned into Nano. And Loam is up there as a fade. He moves in, he kills IOTS, who had pulled a little bit too far forward, and they're able to pick off Trigu and Joey no problem. Alright, so they're going to potentially lose that gate right there. I mean, there's a fade and a lurk on it. That's going to be really obnoxious to deal with. They still only have 2 dead. I don't know what people are doing at this point. It looks like they're going to push down the right side of the map. Have a few shotguns in that mix. Scooting right along. Looks like they're going to just try and push the hive. At this point, that is their only hive. I mean, they have 6 RTs, so it's going to be it's not going to be too long before they're able to get a second hive dropped, which probably, as soon as they see them come in here, they probably are just going to drop a second hive. I mean, there's the 43 res. Where's the second hive? Yep, there it is. Like, oh, hey, there are kind of Marines in here. Let's just drop that hive and call this good. However, guess what? There's also kind of stuff chomping on the chair. The chair is down to 75. The hive is down to 35. 57 versus 35. Control is dropping 40, 38, 35. Parsnip's out of the chair. It's just Joey versus Parsnip. And the chair goes down. Because all the aliens went up there. Yeah, they knew that they weren't going to be able to take it at that point. So they're just like, you know what, let's just try that. And, yeah. So again, so far Over.Extension is just like wiping the floor with Elfir. I mean, did we even get a C? IOTS get to a higher life form? Come on! That was like one of the things. As I said, I was telling to him, I'm here to watch him flash his life form, but we haven't seen him go into a life form yet, because they got destroyed so early on. Again, before Fades were up on Descent. But Over.Extension is looking really, like, stupidly strong at this point. They haven't made any, like, huge disastrous mistakes or anything either, so it's just like, at this point, they're probably just like, hell yeah, we're doing freaking awesome. If they aren't saying, hell yeah, we're doing freaking awesome, well then, what's up with that? Anyway, Elfir is ready to go. Oops, there we go. Hit the right button this time. This time I remember to put up the little overlay. Anyway, that's what's going on right now. So this will be the final round, and these have been some pretty prompt rounds. All things considered, that last one was what? 8 minutes. 8.5 minutes. And at the end, they were just sort of like, hey, whatever, let's just, you know, yellow in there. I mean, you could tell that when it was just Parsnip out of the chair and the one Marine that was alive left, I mean, that command chair was just gonna go away. It was gonna be gone. Looks like we're gonna see mines here again, just because Fisk jumped into the chair there. That means Parsnip will be waiting around and helping build the armory. Makes sense, because I mean, after this is like their only chance. This is Elfir's only chance to get a point. So obviously, the easiest way to try and get a point would be to base rush, and just kill them right off the bat. Call it good. But you know, mines will definitely help with that, especially since Parsnip will be able to place his own. Game is starting up here in just 15 seconds. And we'll be moving into the final round of Over.Extension versus Elfir. Hey, look, a sub-hive again. Question is, are they going to have a gorge? Scooby's is going to be a gorge. And unsurprisingly, there's the power-built armory. Parsnip's like, hey, get out of my freaking chair. Alright, so moving up through here, we have two. That would be Joey and Mr. Oizo moving up towards Topo. They're just setting up and waiting. Mines has been started, and it looks like we've got Ayat's moving through the vent, and Trigger just kind of waiting around the corner to see what's going to happen with Lone being the one building. But they have three pushing forward. Mr. Oizo almost going down, but both the Marines there are chipped. They just need to get a couple bites, but Mr. Oizo is pretty much hurt at this point. They need a... Oh, no. What's happening? Why are they saying not live? What's going on here? The gorge can't build? Oh, that's a new bug. Alright, so it looks like we're having some sort of technical issues or something. I don't know whether he messed up his hotkeys or what, but he apparently can't build anything. Well, that's curious. So much for that. What's going on here? Oops, where am I? What's going on here? Come on, little gorge. What's going on? Need to fix gorge. Oh, look! He can build stuff now! I'm guessing that he swapped some of his hotkeys, his default hotkeys, and probably, just because comp mod messes with those, he probably didn't have them bound. Well, guys, guess who needs to play a little bit more? So it looks like they're gonna F4 out and try this again. I wonder what happened there. Weird. They could have just SV reset, couldn't they? Nobody wins. Contagious jumps in. Alright. So we need to see this again. Let's try this again, now that the gorge theoretically can actually build things. Alright. So now that theoretically Elfir is ready to go, they're supposed to theoretically spawn with a... So by the way, we're not having a gorge. Alright, well, let's see what happens here. I mean, they're theoretically supposed to start down in sub again. We'll see if that happens again. That is part of the rules for the season, or well, and last season too, is that when you're supposed to end up with the same spawns. wonder if I could have SV reset that. I honestly don't know if I have admin on these servers. I mean, I guess I do. I have a little shiny badge thing. And yeah, since we are on an East Coast server, just I think I mentioned Bruno's ping before. He has like almost 300 ping here. And because he has to go, you know, across an ocean and a continent to get here. And that's kind of far. Meanwhile, all the lovely Europeans over there, somewhere between 150 to 250 ping. Someone killed the RNG just for today. Alright, so we're trying it again. Last round. Over.Extension versus Elfir. Okay, RNG likes us anyway. Who cares? Let's see. Are they really gonna go no gorge? Alright, he is gonna gorge. Seeing mines again. Fisk has to get out of the box. Get out of the box, Fisk. You have to let Parsnip in. So that's all been figured out. We're gonna have Joey, Mr. Oizo cruising on over. Looks like we're gonna see a forward push again into East. They're probably just gonna try and walk into Nano. I mean, given the fact that there are three just like cruising right along ahead, Rising gets parasited, so they know he's there. Mr. Oizo is watching for another parasite. He might get one in Zaloko, but he's actually gonna get rather chipped there. Scooby's is working on his tunnel, trying to get that up. So they really need to pull back here if they're going to continue on forward from East into Nano. Looks like Trigger's waiting there too, as is Joey. Joey gets healed up. It looks like they're going to go for it. They're going to go for Nano. Scooby's is trying to get some pillars up there to try and block some bullets. But the three are moving on in. They do have 3 skulks and a gorge in this little fight. One Marine has gone down. Bruno may go down. Nope. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, come on. What's gonna go on here? Zaloko's getting spit at, and they still have two skulks still alive. Why they aren't coming through the tunnel is beyond me. But now there's gonna be 3 Marines into Nano, and they lost the tunnel. That was definitely a bad call because when you have people going in that, you need to decide what to do, and that was only like half of the team committing. That was still 2 skulks, which it would have been looks like Mr. Oizo and IOTS, not. You know, reacting. You either need to have everybody move to Nano and save the tunnel, or you have to all go to base. Since they do have mines up, as you can see, they're kind of all over the place. Actually, are going for they went for early-ish OB, so I'm assuming that was just in case there was a there was a base rush, then they could just beacon everybody. I mean, they already had the armory because of the because of the mines. Fisk is all alone in there, though. With the 3 skulks, they could just push in and kill him. But they aren't. It's kind of frustrating. Come on, guys. Elfir, I want to, like, box select all of you and tell you to go attack him. He can't kill all of you. So they're pulling all 4 skulks to go kill that. They're going to be able to kill that RT and then just continue on with the normal fighting. Alright, so Rising just holding in East. He's been parasited. Mr. Oizo looks like he's going to go try and harass Topo. But they finally got the tunnel back up there in Nano. They have IOTS over here. Loam's in the vent. I don't know which side he got in from, but he's going to get some nice shots on IOTS. Exactly, Bird. He gets parasited. He clears the cysts. I did actually miss that to try and increase the maturity of it, to try and make it a little bit, you know, live a little bit longer, but it's not gonna happen. And that RT is gonna go down. We have Fisk moving into Nano. There are three aliens there. Contagious is out of the hive. Rising was gonna move in, but he was a little bit late. Contagious is actually following him a little bit. He might get a parasite. Come on, get a parasite. Alright, they got a parasite. Joey's gonna engage on that. Probably a bad idea, because of course everybody else backed up. So I think that's a communication issue that they'll probably have to work on if that's indeed what happened. Say to not take the engagement, or say that you are going to take the engagement, so everybody else better sure as heck come along. 2 Marines versus a Skulk in a Gorge. The Skulk gets cleared, the Gorge is backing the hell up. Mr. Oizo, there is another Skulk. Chigu, I don't know why he's trying to kill... Okay, he does actually survive, though. The Crag is up, and Scooby's is just in there, like... YOLO gorging. He actually does go down because Fisk came around the corner. How unfortunate that the gorge goes down. Anyway. They're going to lose that tunnel. And then the crag. Obviously, there's no cysts in there anymore, aka not a giant cyst in the form of a giant gorge tunnel. But at this point, they're already just like trapped in their base. They do have IOTS as a lurk. And Trigger's around here, floating around as a lurk as well somewhere. There he is. So this is looking more like last season. Here's the thing, they're already so far behind. Look, Over.Extension's going to be on 7 RTs. 7! I mean, look at this res graph. It's just silly. They had 1 RT in Nano, and that was it. So they are going to be able to send a Skulk to go and bite that RT and maybe get that taken down. But at this point, it's just... Look at the difference in the slopes of those lines. I mean, here was the little area where they had the 2 RTs. But after that, it's just back to being super slow. We're seeing a little fight. Whoops, wrong button. Saw a little fight over there in Nano, and they're going to work on that power and try and take that down. But at this point, they don't have a gorge again. They probably can't afford to get another gorge, especially since at this point, that'll mean that their Onos is like hideously far behind, assuming that Scooby's is their Onos. I mean, he already used a lot of res. There was, what, that'd be 3 tunnels? I mean, it's a lot of res. Trigger's going in there to heal. They're finally taking down the res there in pipe. Team kills. I mean, look at that. It's ridiculous. They've lost 7 extractors, though. They've done a really good job at biting down the res. The only problem is they haven't been able to hold any of their own. So Parsnip, though he has 20 res, he hasn't... I guess he didn't go for mines, as I'm seeing chat saying that Parsnip has 20 res. So he obviously still hasn't gone for mines, so maybe he is just going to wait and just get a shotgun. I mean, it's like... Normally, if you'd be doing that, you'd probably be wanting to have your comm just, you know, buy a set of mines so you don't have anybody going back. But I guess some people got cleared or whatnot, so they just had those people buy stuff instead. Zloku's moving up forward, killing some cysts. They haven't systed out a base towards cargo yet, even though that is currently clear. But at this point, they have Bruno and Zloku moving on in. They have Armor 2 going up. Looking at this, looks like Lurk's got their upgrades. 23 res currently for P-res for non-Lurk aliens. Seeing both Lurks. Oh gosh, Trigger almost getting killed there, getting out with just, you know, his wings full of holes, I guess, because he had basically no health left, and so he has to hang out by the hive for a while he heals up. Meanwhile, they're gonna get a gate over there, right there in system, and we might be seeing a repeat of what happened in the last round. Where again, it's a while until fates come out. And at this point, but they don't have shotguns though. So right now it looks like that was Trigger running for his life as a lurk. IOTS will be not too far behind for running for his life, but he hasn't died yet, so they still have both the lurks, so that's much better than the first round where they were aliens. The only problem is that, guess what, they're just gonna have LMGs walking into the hive. Yeah, I see Versal commenting on the Shift Hive aliens. That's actually apparently... Oh, Trigger goes down. One lurk left. That's actually apparently a thing now with some of the Euro teams. I know that when I commented on that in some, I think it was in Vindaloo's chat on one of the things he was casting. He said that, it was something Chewy was casting and Vindaloo was in chat because he was saying that his team would do Shift Hive as well. So it seems to be sort of a Euro strat at the moment, is to go Shift Hive first because, I don't know, they just do. They think that the getting blocked there by Scoobies. I'm sure that IOTS just yelled at him there, taking a little bit extra damage because Bruno was able to still shoot him. We have Fisk all alone over here in observation. Or Overlook, sorry. It begins with an O as well. Who cares? He's just gonna cruise on in. IOTS is just cruising on in and bites him down. And now the shotguns are up. It's still before phase. They're just gonna go and wreck this hive all over again. They need to be on that gate right now. But at this point, they're playing with Nano, too. They're going to take down Loam. But again, back to the hive. They have only two eggs alive now. They do have a Crag, but that Crag's getting focused down. Trigger's alive, hiding on the wall over there. They have two shotguns, at least I think? 3 shotguns. 3 shotguns and an LMG. IOTS is actually going to maybe come out the vent there, But I think he might have been scanned when they scanned over here, so he's probably just waiting for the right moment to try and get through. He is at pretty low health, so he's going to have to go and hide. And at this point, again, you have to take down the gate and then clear the Marines, or clear the Marines and take down the gate. Either one. But at this point, most of Elfir is dead. They have a lot of P-res, so they could drop another hive. But at this point, all that res is going to end up going into eggs. One shotgun down. They still have the one LMG in the group. Another shotgun down. Okay, now Bruno has cycled one of the shotguns. He has that one again. IELTS is actually going to run in, just face tank that. They need to get on the gate. Just right now. They need to be just like sitting on that gate. Parsnip actually comes through first. He jumped out of the chair. He's got cleared. Now it's onto Fisk, and all the skulks are just trying to, you know, take him down and then get that gate. They might actually get the gate down. And they do get the gate down, so that didn't go nearly as badly as last time. But look at the hive. It's at 36%. They do have the cracks, so that'll be healed, you know, slowly. They're going to take down the power in system. And at this point, look at the, look. No wonder they got cleared. All their res got melted. Over.Extension, just their res evaporated. Now Rising and IELTS are having a standoff here. Watch out! Oh, he's being pretty ballsy there. But Rising wasn't able to land enough hits. Oh, that was nice. But look at that amount of res. They assisted into Nano. We have Scooby's working on the gate there to try and be annoying. Fisk is respawning. He's going to clear that up and actually chase Scooby's on the... Hey, look! Look what they don't have. Unless that got killed in recent history. They don't have a second IP. Guess what happens when you don't have a second IP? You can't get people through the gate. It's that same mistake, and it looks like IELTS might get picked off here. He is really low health, and they're moving in through the overlook side of things. He's going to get healed up by the hive. Need some more assisting. They have 79 res. Scooby's is going Gorge to try and heal the hive. They really need Contagious. Contagious, go drop a hive. Jump in that freaking chair and drop like 2 hives. Make it happen. Drop a hive. Drop a hive. Contagious, get back in there. Drop a hive. Contagious, what are you doing? Get in the freaking chair and drop a hive. IELTS, get in the chair and drop a hive. Somebody drop a hive. Please drop a hive. I implore you, drop a hive. Watch out for that. Watch out for that mine. Kill Rising, then drop a hive. Someone drop a hive. Drop a hive. Come on, Elfir. You even have a gorge, or you had a gorge. You have a gorge. Go drop a hive. Guys, please. Please. Yeah. They tried to do that same thing, but again, their res got wrecked. Alright, they claimed a hive, guys! I mean, that definitely would have been... Oh! As IELTS just, like, cruises right into them. Oh, but here's the problem. Fisk is heading that way. Fisk is going to find the hive. Guys, get over there! You dropped your hive, like, way across the map, not, like, nearby or anything. Why didn't you drop the hive in cargo? Contagious? What are you thinking? Anyway, we got Zloco in the loam, kind of cruising on through, but it looks like... Oh! IELTS, what were you doing? Fades are up, though. We got Mr. Oizo and Joey up as Fades, and it looks like Fisk is just going to take that entire hive. He's just like, sup, I'm sitting on this hive. This hive is my friend. By friend, I mean, you know, victim of lots of bullets. So that hive was completely pointless, and they should have dropped it in cargo, I think. Because that is a little bit farther, but at this point, Loam is just creeping that way, so even though the Drifter is, like, sitting there... And guess what? Joey better check that hallway. That's all I've got to say, is Joey better go up that hallway and see him. Looks like they might send the Drifter up to scout. I don't think they saw him. They're slowly starting to claw back their res. This is like they reset the game a little bit. They're finally going to get the 3rd biomass up so they can get their Fades are going to have metabolize. We're just seeing them cruise around the map. We're seeing Fisk is going to be running in there. He has Scooby's and Joey's in there. Fisk still has an LMG. They don't have weapons 1, so that should be pretty easy for Joey to clear that up. And there's nobody down there, so if they wanted to... well, they don't have enough res now, but they would have been able to drop the hive. And if Over.Extension just threw that by focusing way too much on that hive, well... Then this will be the case where I said, you know, I want people to get wrecked, and I wanted this to be a 2-2, but at this point, it looks like it'll either be a 4-0 or 3-1. We'll see what happens here. So power is up again in system. They're at 5 RTs again. They're having people cap down the right side of the map. They're working on the gate again. They don't have people converge. Okay, now they're going to have people converge. Is the gate going to get built? It's at 48%. They're should be able to clear these LMGs. They don't have weapons 1. They do have armor 2, so it'll be a little bit harder. Mr. Oiz is actually getting a little bit low. Joey's low on energy. He's going to have to get out just so that way he can go, you know, get more energy. Joey just needs to get out so he doesn't lose that poor freaking fade. Mr. Oiza moves in. Has to get out now. Okay, time for the other fade. They're just moving in over and over. The gate is back up. Weapons 1, finally! They need to get back on that res. Look at that! Look at this. This is giant fall, and then they're moving up together. What's going on here? All right. So they're getting Bile Bomb instead of Metabolize? Contagious. Yeah. You don't have a Gorge right now. You need to have your Fades being able to stay in these fights for longer. Rising goes down. Both the Phase Joey and Mr. Oiz are gonna converge on whoever the heck that was that just got swarmed by a bunch of nameplates. Fisk is gonna be the last one through, and they have two skulks on that gate. Mr. Oiz is going to join them, and they're going to lose the system gate again. Bile Bomb has been completed, but again, they don't have a... Oh, Rising pops through the gate. They're going to take him down. But again, this is... I don't know why they... this is one of those things. I mean, if you're going to research a lifeform upgrade, you better have the lifeforms up to actually use that upgrade. That's why I was saying, you know, you should probably get Metabolized at this point, because it's a lot more sense to, you know, support your phase than it is to support a Gorge that does not currently exist. Though I see, oh, looks like Ayats is relurking. They just converge on Loam there. That was Joey and Mr. Oizo taking him out. So the next upgrade, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it pretty much has to be Metabolize. There we go! Good job, good job! I will quit harping on it. So we've got Bruno and Loco moving on into C12. I mean, at this point, let's look at the graph. They've gotten their res back. They lost a little bit more. 17 extractors down. So good res biting from Elfir, even though it's been in like giant waves. The res is actually nice and equal right now, and the kills, Marines are ahead. I mean, again, it is not a big deal if the other team's ahead in kills, as long as you end up ahead in res. Mr. Oizo is going to back out. Metab is done, so he could be able to get out. He doesn't have enough res or enough energy right now. He just needs to get out of line of fire so he can go and Metab somewhere. So Loco's moving to try and cut him off, but isn't able to, especially because Joey was coming in there to be a giant distraction. Weapons 2 is finally going up. The Hive is at 71% grown. Looks like, do they have... Yep, Scoobies is back as a Gorge, so I guess he's not going to be an Onos anytime soon. He's just going to be a Gorge. And they're going to really need that, the shells. Okay, there's the Hive. Fisk gets taken down. Chigo and Joey moving in and taking down Bruno. Leap has been started, and another good call there since they do have a couple skulks just sitting around on the field. Your stuff being bitten. Looks like that's C12 and Topo. So Loco creeping forward. Joey just kind of hiding around the corner waiting. I think he's actually on the wrong side of that box. Yeah, that is a very, you know... Oh, they're going for a gate. They knew that neck gate had to be there, and here comes Scoobies. He's biling stuff to make sure that if there were any weapons dropped, that those would go away, and that gate only got to 53% built, so that's going to be no problem there. I think after those first few rounds, Elfir suddenly must have realized that, hey, wait, we can't let this pathetic North American team take us, can we? So let's look at their P-Res. It looks like Trigu is going to be the Onos. We're saying a 4 push into East here. Let's see whether they're going to be going for Gate or what they're going to be trying to do. I mean, that's pretty much what they're going to have to do. Joey might end up going down there because he... That's a shotgunner. You aren't supposed to bite shotgunners. Sometimes stuff like that. Scooby's is going to go get stuck on a railing there, but able to escape. There's just a lot of weird things that seem to be going on. But guess what? They just lost their arms lab. So nice job up there, Trigu and base. The arms lab went away. I don't think they had a mine on it. And they took down the gate. Now what's next is the IP. They're just letting them take stuff. They aren't beaconing. They have enough res to beacon, but they aren't beaconing. I'm not sure what's going on here. Did they not realize that they just lost their arms lab? Nice dancing around the mine there for Mr. Oizo. Here comes the other Marines. I mean, they just lost so much stuff. I mean, looks like Mr. Oizo is going to wisely get out of there, but they have to rebuild their arms lab. They have to rebuild their phase gate. At this point, they can just pick off all the Marines that are still floating around the map. I mean, we got Zoloko and Loam kind of separated by a wall. Okay, they got back together here. Joey's just kind of waiting. Here comes... Ayat's back as a lurk again. Okay, Ayat, you better not bite another Marine with a shotgun. Just don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Let's go back and check the resource grid. 22 RTs down in 20 minutes. I forgot to close, apparently, some of the stuff that makes noise. Sorry about that. They're going to go for an East gate. But at this point, I mean, you saw how it looked in the early part of the game. Through this first, 12 minutes or something, look at how it's changed. Look at how the entire map now is green almost. They threw way too much res and they had weapons won way too late. I don't know whether they were... I mean, it looked like they were trying. Whoops, gotta get out of there. They still don't have an arms lab. Guys! Elfir, please group up. Group up and just go, wreck those guys. Okay, they got the arms lab back. Never mind, just kidding. Forget I said that. Look, they even have a nice little base over here in Skylights. Little healing base. Mr. Oizo not going through the vent. He's going to go down. Yep, and they just lost 2 life forms. They still have Joey. And Trigu is 1 res away from being an Onos. So now that IOTS has sort of thrown a lurk, at least, they threw at least 1 lurk. I wanted them to throw at least 1 lurk, and they dropped Pipeline. So they're starting up their 3rd hive. They're up to 5 biomass. They have a lot of the good starting tech for that. They need to get charged here, especially since Trigu will be you better go Onos. Come on, don't mess anything. Okay, there we go. We got charge going. we gotta see that Onos though. We've seen a lot of delayed Onai in this first couple weeks of matches. I mean, okay, I would say first week, except for it's week 1 and 2 matches. But we've seen a lot of delayed Onai. So Trigu really needs to get his Onos. I mean, it'll just help them so much. Joey dancing around, missing swipes. He just needs to leave. He should be able to... Oh, no, not that way. Get through the vent. Get around the corner. He's actually going to make it. He made it through. Rising almost getting him there. Looks like they're going to maybe go for a dome gate. They did just socket the power there, which... but do they know the hive is there in pipe? I'm not exactly sure. Trigu, what are you doing? Contagious could go freaking fade. Does Contagious fade? Look at how much res he has. He's the commander, and he has 36 res. They better not have Scoobies go Onos, or go, not Onos, go, what's it? That thing! Alright, we have Bruno moving into the pipe hive. He's actually, Scoobies is actually building that, and it's almost grown. Just the early throws based on the phase gates. Pipeline is done. Shade Hive has been started. Scoobies is just delaying them there, just running in. He's going to run over the hive and... Oh, did you just... Okay, that's a Crag. I'm going to say, if you just dropped an upgrade, right in front of him, guys. Suffram saying in chat, what is this round? Alright, we have an Onos. Trigger, a little bit late there, but hey, he's alive. He's going to run up that hallway and take out Zoloko, and then they're all going to maybe converge on that. Loam pops through. Trigger better watch out. He needs to get out of there. Just get out. Don't do it. Alright, he's going to go back to the hive to heal. Trigger, what are you doing? Stop! Get out of there! He's actually using Bone Shield a bit. Scooby's better just heal the hell out of that Onos. Alright, the gate went away. Now Trigger can heal. He might as well actually go back to the hive. I mean, it's just down around the corner. Loam and Zoloco over here in East. They have shotguns. They are joined by Rising. Second veil is done, so they're going to be able to get more upgrades. Advanced Metabolize has been started. 3 veils done. Contagious. I want him to evolve to something. He has like 1 billion res for a commander. Oh, he's just turning into a skulk. That isn't nearly as exciting. And they're actually going to try an arc. They're on only 3 RTs, and then they built a robo. They're going to try an arc. They don't want to give up. Oh, he really wants to... Oh, Joey, what just happened? Where was that? There it was. Looks like Fisk took him down. I don't really... He got soloed over there or what. But... Whatever, it's not the end of the world. What's Joey at res-wise? He's at 48 res. He might as well just save for another Onos. Just save for another Onos and call it good. Bruno's just hiding in there. Trigger, what are you doing? Oh, well, he got the power down. Now get out of there. Don't abandon your gorge, but get out. Okay, he abandoned his gorge. Just get out now. Nice use of Bone Shield there, but he's delaying a little bit too long, so you might as well just get back to the hive. Contagious should probably be going Gorge now. Or is he going to go Onos too? If we have a Commander Onos, that'll be absolutely hilarious, and I want to see that happen. I want to see a Commander Onos. Let's make it happen, guys. Loman's Loco plus their 1 arc. They're down to 2 RTs, so it's going to be kind of hard for them to keep producing arcs. Because every time they produce an arc, that means they cannot build another RT. Not that they can really cap all that much. We're seeing somebody blinking up there. I guess there was a skulk that poked at base. Commander Onos! Commander Onos! Make it happen! Trigger's just like hanging out, making them waste their bullets. He can't really move in because of that armory block, obviously. But he can bait Marines forward and hope that the Fades can pick them off. But then again, they're trying to bait the life forms forward so the shotguns can kill them. So it's just this lovely standoff, and they can put a shade in there and delay that even more. But it really doesn't matter all that much. I mean, they have 5 RTs. They're going to have 3 soon for Over.Extension. 24 RTs down of Over.Extensions. Alright, they are going to make the push there. They do have Umbra up. Trigger's still stuck behind that IOT's almost actually dying there. He has basically no health, but he's still moving in to make sure that he can continue to Umbra them. Trigger's actually getting very low. He needs that Umbra. He does have the Umbra. They are able to clear it, and they need to get back on that gate, and they need Scoobies to heal. I mean, that's one of the things. If you're going to have the commander out of the hive that much, so you really need to have, you know, somebody else doing the gorging. You could have had Scoobies as Onos by now, like a couple times over. Okay, not a couple times over, but he could have been an Onos by now. IOTS is still at, like, he's just, like, flying around and barely doing anything. Just because, well, look at his health. It's still really stupidly low. This is one of the most bizarre games I've seen in a while. But yeah, if you're gonna have the commander out of the hive enough so that he actually gets res, he needs to actually do something with the res. He could be a fade right now. He could be a lurk. He could have been a gorge several times instead of having Scoobies be a gorge. So that's one of the things that a lot of teams will do if they have the calm out of the chair so much or out of the hive so much. You end up pushing them to be the gorge. Because then you don't have a field player spending all their res on gorge. Now Scoobies can be an Onos, and maybe this would be a good time for Contagious to you know, trade and be a... Oh, they might lose Mr. Oizo. He's going to get around the corner with, like, no health. And they're all deciding to move on back. Scoobies is getting chased. Trigo also getting chased. A little bit of lag it looked like there. But at this point, they do have a gate up now. Over here in Overlook. They're just going to cruise on into... to the sub-hive. That is actually where some of their upgrades are, so if they pick those off, I mean, it's only the shift upgrades, though, so they aren't, like, the most important thing in the world. I mean, okay, sure. Shift upgrades in general are important, but if you're going to lose some upgrades, it's probably better you lose the shift ones, especially since, you know, everybody's using Aura. You know, everybody's using some sort of variant of Carapace or Regen. But, you know, really... all the celerity does is, like, you know, allow you to run fast and be zoom zoom. And at this point with Umbra, with Bone Shield, with a Gorge healing, you don't really need that as much. You just need to be able to know when to get out normally. He's getting healed up here. He's using his bone shield to try and like to bait some of the bullets out. Meanwhile, stuff over here is going on. Fisk is gonna take down Joey the Fade. Let's see how much. Joey apparently just recently refaded, so he cannot refade. Contagious is still alive though. Come on, I really want to see a Commander Onos. That will be amazing. He only needs like 4 more res. Guys, drag this game out for another freaking 4 res. It needs to happen. Please make it happen. Come on, back up. Go back to Topo so we can see a Commander Onos. And they're just picking on base at the moment. They did actually go down to 3 RTs. So they've been losing and not recapping in this section from about 22 minutes on. Oops, let's make that go away too. Rising's going to go down. They are going to be out of IPs. No! No! You're so close to Commander Onos. That 53 res though. But yeah, they do take this, so it is going to be 3-1. Not 4, because there was that messed up Gorge round. 3-1. Over.Extension winning that. And we almost saw the stupid frickin' Commander Onos. I don't know how he was out of the hive that much. But that would have been absolutely amazing, and I really wish that had happened. Oh well, that was kind of a weird and sloppy round, but hey, it's all in good fun. I wish we had seen that. But anyway, that's it for this match today. We also have, let's see, what have we got? We have Singularity versus Narcolepsy tonight at 6 p.m. So I'll be casting that as well. So that's what time is it now? I don't even know. It's 3:30 now, so another 2.5 hours. And let me taunt IOTS here. Don't bite. Alright, now that I'm done taunting IOTS. Anyway. That's going to be the other game for tonight. It'll, as I said, 6 p.m., so it's like 2.5 hours. There are like a bajillion games going on Sunday, so just go to nsl.org and check on the right-hand column, and all the games are listed there. There's pretty much everything. I think only one doesn't have a caster at this point. I might end up casting that one, but after casting a lot of games this week, I kind of would prefer to have a day off. So we'll see what happens. Maybe some remaining caster that isn't playing in a match will pick that up. But I know we're having the first premiere match of the season going on Sunday. That'll be fun. It's Titus versus Solomon, and it's at like 10 a.m. Pacific. Again, if you're logged in on the NSL side, all the times are in your appropriate time zone, assuming you set that up correctly. Other than that, let's see. Trying to remember what else. All the links that have been all the links that are somewhat relevant, whether it be the NSL Twitter, the NSL Steam groups, and all that kind of thing, are now linked in the bottom column of my stream. You could go there and click those, look around, and join or watch them as needed. Other than that, I will see you guys in a couple hours. Time to go get some stuff done. So thank you for watching, and see you later.